My number four, and I've talked to you about this millions of times because I also think it's one of the greatest robberies in Oscar Best Acting Performance history.
Maybe you are going to steal it.
And it is...
I'm going to show you how great We're not worthy!
I said, empty your mind.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that
woman. All right, this is part 2 of our film extravaganza. And I know this man's been waiting this whole time to get to this topic right here. Because while Marvel movies and superhero movies and big spectacle movies might not be his forte, film arguably is. So for today's Mount Rushmore, for today's best of the best top list, we always pick the top 4 of whatever category we choose to talk about this week. And this week we're going to go into the world of film. Our Mount Rushmore, our top 4 greatest acting performances ever. Now, do you have any restrictions to that list before we lock these ideas in?
No made-for-TV movies.
So we're looking
because I had a couple just straight-up cinema, whatever hit the theater. Because I know a few made-for-TV movies back in the 80s that were phenomenal. Like Cher in the Mask movie. You ever watched that movie? Like that was just unbelievable. But that was a TV movie that got nominated for what's the TV one? Golden Globes, Emmy?
Yeah. The Academy Awards is...
If my words did glow on the heart of the strong, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold me near?
Well, you sure as hell aren't going to get a scholarship if you stay in the sack all day, are you? You had a Spanish test, didn't you, Rocky? You might have a little Spanish test, huh? Cold. Well, you got your covers off of you. Don't pull this with me, Rocky. Do you hear me? Wake up. Come on, baby, make yourself well. Wake up. Oh, God.
Is the Oscars.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much no TV movies because honestly, those TV movies probably would have killed my list. So this is straight up cinema.
All right. And that does narrow down my list. I do have one for my honorable mention that will be from outside of big filmmaking.
Okay. Well, that's honorable mention. That's okay.
Honorable mention.
All right. So bring out the wheel. Who goes first?
All right. Let me pull up the wheel.
I want to go first because I hope I win. Because I have a feeling you're going to jack my number 4.
It's already up. It's still up from last week. Here we go. I've gone twice the last 2 weeks.
It's all right. This is the way we do it. This is the way we do things.
It's you.
The walk-off?
It's the walk-off. There it is. Bam, let's lock it in. And it's you.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to steal it.
Okay. My number 4, which I will make... George Washington. Ooh. All right. So just so people that have never watched before, we do a Mount Rushmore and we kind of joke around we go 4, 3, 2, 1, and number 4 is the worst, and it kind of interchanges who's going to be. Last week, I think, was Jefferson, number 4, and then number 1 was Lincoln, I think. This time, we're going to start with number 4, George Washington, because supposedly his teeth were made from his slaves.
All right.
And I think that warrants him being number 4. Anyways,
right.
My number 4, and I've talked to you about this millions of times because I also think it's one of the greatest robberies in Oscar Best Acting Performance history.
Maybe you are going to steal it.
And it is Tom Hanks
Oh,
from
yes.
Castaway.
Oh, we have had this conversation. Go ahead. Explain why. I know where this is going now.
See, now this is another movie I believe would not be made today. Who wants to see a man alone on an island that worked for FedEx? Doesn't work. Maybe the plane explosion is worth spending your hard-working, precious money on to go watch. But when I went to go watch that movie, I wasn't expecting a performance of a lifetime.
It was fantastic.
Let me emphasize. Yes. The idea, this man gets lost on an island. I'm not going to, give you an overview of the movie. I just want to go straight into the performance. But the idea that this man is alone on an island and the entire movie, for most part, except for the very beginning and the very end, show to me the level where Tom Hanks can bring in the viewer for an hour, for almost 2 hours, and it's just him in an island and a
Anybody? Anybody?
volleyball named Wilson that he gets so attached to. Wilson, right? And you see the process. It's him making fire, him discovering coconut water, him finding his packages coincidentally, and then opening. I mean, look, guys, this episode is going to be a lot of spoilers. If you haven't watched it yet, that's on you.
That's on you.
And then he gets a figure skate, like a skate, and he uses it as a way to chop coconuts and everything like that. He brought the emotion of what it would be like to be alone on an island. There were scenes in there for minutes long where there was no dialogue. It was just him chopping or him breathing or him being frustrated, him trying to start a fire. He brought silence and gave it a personality. And the scene, there's two specific scenes that blow my mind. One was where he tries to exit the island, makes a makeshift raft, and he takes Wilson with him. And because of a high tide, the Wilson volleyball gets lost, and he starts crying and weeping like a baby. Go ahead.
Wilson, where are you? Wilson! 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 I'm sorry! I'm sorry, Wilson! Wilson, I'm sorry! I'm sorry! Wilson! I can't! Wilson! Wilson!
And say it again, Outlet.
Wilson!
Right. That
Yes.
pulled. We were attached to Wilson. He made us attached
To a volleyball.
an object, to a volleyball.
Yes.
The other scene that I thought put him in a different level
Fire?
was when he got saved, and then they kind of honor him at FedEx, and then he sees like the seafood spread, and he's like there with the crab leg, and he's like this is how simple it is, like he made us connect to what he had to go through, and now he just sees a whole buffet of seafood, and he's like, man, like you felt his pain watching how simple life was after he got saved. And he had a hard time adjusting. I think he was also sleeping on the floor. It's been a while since I watched it, but that is my number 4. Go ahead.
It's a great number 4. I think Tom Hanks, my dad used to joke with me, greatest actor of your generation. And he'd say some stupid shit, but it was always something stupid. I think Tom Hanks might be the greatest actor of, I'm not going to say my generation, but of my lifetime. He hits. Tom Hanks is a fantastic actor, and that might be his best film of all time, arguably. It's hard to say that a movie where you're all by yourself for 2 hours, keeping the attention of hundreds of millions of people, and that is acting at its finest. There's a couple other movies where you can argue that it's the same idea, but Tom Hanks, it was a robbery. That was a robbery.
And let's put that bow on that. What pissed me off is that Russell Crowe won Best Actor for Gladiator, which
I thought it was
a fine movie.
A Beautiful Mind. That year was A Beautiful Mind.
No, because I know it was Gladiator.
A homosexual poet, a drunken artist, a man who has a relationship with a volleyball, a sexual deviant, a guy who likes to wear gladiator outfits. But enough about me.
The Oscar goes to Russell Crowe in
Gladiator.
Which is
and to
movie.
me, what got me pissed off, no, I don't think so, is that I've seen that acting performance before. Like, there's been millions, well, not millions, but dozens of movies of warriors fighting, coming out of, being captured and then making their way to a big lasting fight. I've seen that movie before.
Making my way
Castaway,
downtown.
I have never seen before. He got robbed. Second biggest robbery in Oscar history.
Oh, well,
We'll end up doing an episode on the greatest robberies of all time. But go ahead.
It leads to my number 4, which is Russell Crowe in Gladiator. I'm joking.
Oh my
God! Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time. Gladiator the movie. I'm not going to say Russell Crowe is not a better actor than Tom Hanks, but I do like the movie Gladiator. My number 4, for the sake of tying it into our previous episode, is Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight.
Okay, go ahead. Talk to me.
I know it's kind of a hot take because people don't even agree that Heath Ledger's the best Joker of all time. But the whole story that revolves around the Heath Ledger and the Joker persona is at this point well written down. It's a big deal. Obviously, if you didn't know, Heath Ledger ended up he didn't kill himself. He OD'd from prescription, a mix of prescription and illegal drugs that he was taking while making this film.
The actor Heath Ledger was found dead today in an apartment here in New York City. He was just 28 years old. The Australian-born actor came to huge prominence after his powerful performance in the film Brokeback Mountain. It gained him an Academy Award nomination.
And he kept a little journal, and the journal had all the notes that he would take on who the Joker was, and it put him in such a negative mindset. He couldn't sleep at night. He was taking sleeping pills, and that's the last set of pills that he added that set him down his spiral that ended up killing him. But at the end of the day, he made this character hauntingly chilling without being in the Tarantino / Saw world that we live in today. It's very easy to lean heavy into the over-the-top violence, which in superheroes with your big explosions and your this and that.
You know, you remind me of my father. I hated my father.
Okay, stop.
Well, hello, beautiful. You must be Harvey's squeeze. And you are beautiful.
It would be very easy for them to do that, but no, he was very low key, and even when he was ultraviolet, it wasn't on camera. Like the pencil scene in the beginning where he says, I want to show you a magic trick. I'm going to make this pencil disappear."
And I thought my jokes were bad.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't have my boy here pull your head off.
How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. Ta-da! It's gone.
And he shoves the guy's head into the pencil, but you don't see it on camera. They just imply the violence. Everything about his performance was perfect. He embodied a character that was the opposite of a over-the-top superhero, and would end up being the first time in movie history that a comic book character or an actor portraying a comic book character would be nominated for Best Actor, and he would win. He would win the Oscar after his death. Like I said, not everybody will agree that he's the best Joker of all time. Jack Nicholson is. I mean, a lot of people love the Tim Burton Batman movies, but I will say on the record right now that the Heath Ledger Joker is the best version of the Joker we have ever seen, and it's because he did everything perfect. He is scary without acting scary. There's just something about him that's creepy, that gets under your skin. To the way he talks, to the way he carries himself, to his obsessions. Like everything about him is a little unhinged in just the right ways. And that's because of the way Heath Ledger played him. So my number 4 is Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight.
I got the hottest take. Maybe we should do an episode on Mount Rushmore of hottest takes, because this would be on there. Now I have to change it. I think the Jack Nicholson performance of the Joker is overrated, and I can't stand it. I hate it with all my heart. I agree with you. Heath Ledger is number 1. And that's going back to our original argument on the last episode, why comic book movies are ruining everything. They're kind of repeating the same old kind of stories here, trying to bring in other Jokers. And I did like Joaquin Phoenix's version, part 1. Very much so.
The movie
but then
was
you
good.
They try to introduce it again, and I mean, it's just too much. But what Heath Ledger did in that performance, I agree with you. It gave legitimacy to comic book movies for the first time, in my opinion. This is why I kind of feel like DC is better than Marvel. Because while Marvel did the explosions in the sky and the bright, colorful uniforms, DC kind of kept it dark, and they kind of wanted to bring art into, in terms of acting, into the big, splashy explosion movies. And
Superman is super bright.
Yeah, super bright color. And it starts with The Dark Knight, and Heath Ledger really took it to that next level. So I agree with you on your number 4.
All right.
Okay.
What is your number 3? Can you make it better?
Going back to our last episode, where independent movies back then could not be made today, it is Paul Giamatti in the movie Sideways. Brother, when I watched that movie, I'm not shitting you when I say this. When I watched that movie, the writing was so brilliant. The acting was so brilliant, in my opinion. Not just by him, but by Thomas Hayden Church, who is from my hometown, by the way. Thomas Hayden Church in that movie, in Sideways. Literally that night, I remember I went to go watch it with my friend, coincidentally also named Will. Him and I were walking around our neighborhood, and we were like, bro, let's try to make movies. Let's start writing. He always told me, like, hey, you're a good writer. And he always wanted to be a director. This is before cell phones. We literally we put money into a tripod, and we got those old handy cams that you open up like this. And we started making movies, and it ended up jolting us to spending our early 20s into making movies. But what about Paul Giamatti in that character, as that character. He played the perfect curmudgeon.
Now remember, sit back on your heels, turn through the abdomen. Abdomen.
Oh,
Inner quiet.
shut up, shut up, shut up! Jesus Christ, man, what the hell is wrong with you? Please, just shut up! Fuck!
What's with the hostility, man? I know you're a little frustrated with your life right now, but you can choose to be less hostile.
The fucker hit into us. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Hey, that's not cool, asshole! Nice shot.
Jack-offs. What the hell are you doing? Oh, oops.
He was this wine enthusiast on a bachelor road trip with Thomas Hayden Church before his wedding. And throughout the movie, he is emphasizing his love for wine. Meets some women, and he tries to blow the girl's mind away with his knowledge of wine. And it was just such a great performance. And his whole goal was, he had this bottle of wine called like the Chateau Cheval Blanc 1961 that he was saving. It was a priceless bottle of wine that he was saving to share with somebody that he will meet one day that will replace his ex-wife. And then there's a scene in this movie, bro, kind of like Castaway, no words are spoken. He finds out that his ex-wife is going to get married to some lame corporate guy. And here he is as a teacher. And the next scene cuts, him depressed, his tuxedo from Thomas Hayden's church wedding, with the tie half off and everything. He is at a mom and pop burger joint. And he's eating a sloppy burger. And he's drinking out of a styrofoam cup his priceless bottle of wine. And you felt the defeat. You felt the loss. You felt that his character at that specific moment was a real life person. What Paul Giamatti brought to that scene and throughout the entire movie was hope, and it got diminished in that styrofoam cup full of one of the most priceless bottles of wine, all because of everything he lost in that one moment. So that is my number 4. One of my favorite acting performances. By the way, Thomas Hayden Church will win Best Supporting Actor. Everybody in that movie got nominated except for him. But that would actually, coincidentally, that performance did something better. It launched his career. It took him to another stratosphere instead of this always like the third or fourth character that he was in the 80s and 90s. So that is my number 3.
Paul Giamatti loves In and Out. That is a fact.
I thought about that when I was writing this down. All right, go ahead.
All right. Now,
I almost took him out just because I knew you would say that, by the way.
You knew I was going to say that. We're tying all of our episodes together tonight.
Yes.
I love Paul Giamatti.
Did you ever watch Sideways?
I have seen Sideways. The only role that I've ever thought Paul Giamatti was horrible in was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he plays the Rhino. That was like...
Well, you only had like one scene.
It was one scene. And I'm like, no,
you should come back,
I love... so my favorite Paul Giamatti movie is Cinderella Man. Where he plays his promoter. I love that movie's fantastic. I used to show it during the Great Depression. stuff at school. But Paul Giamatti is a great actor, and I love your pick. I'm gonna steal one from you. If you didn't have him,
no, don't do it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna take Christopher Waltz in Inglourious Bastards.
Ooh, continue. I'll tell you why I don't have on my list. But go ahead.
So Quentin Tarantino has gone on record saying that he had been trying to make Inglourious Bastards for years, but
100%.
He refused to make it until he found the right actor for one specific role, and that role was the role that Christopher Waltz would play in Hans Landa in as the villain role. Now, when you look at this guy, he does not spark you as this over-the-top villainous person. He's a very unassuming, gentlemanly figure, but there's something about him in Inglourious Bastards that is demented in all the right ways. And I loved that movie more. I didn't think there was ever somebody who liked or enjoyed that movie more than I did until I met you. And then it was like, this guy would tell me all the time how great Inglourious Bastards was. And he would come to me like...
I show it to my kids.
He would come to me like he discovered this movie. Like it was his baby. This is mine. And I'm like, I let him have it. I always let you have it because rarely do I come across somebody who enjoys that movie as much as I do. But as a history teacher, I mean, it's a fantastic movie. It was my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie until Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That was a good one. That was a great one.
So
Pulp Fiction is still the best.
I like Kill Bill, but for different reasons. I think Inglourious Bastards it edges Kill Bill, and it's because of the acting in that movie. And Christopher Waltz, this would set just like Paul Giamatti. He came out of nowhere, and next thing you know,
he did.
Christopher Waltz is still getting work today, and he still plays characters just like that. The same guy. He's been typecast. Wasn't he in?
He did the other Quentin Tarantino movie as well.
Oh yeah, well, Quentin Tarantino likes his guys. He brings up.
You're right. That's the kind of universes I like versus the, multiverse stuff. I like when old directors would do stuff like that.
I was going to ask you last episode if you can name a shared universe that existed in a successful way outside of superhero movies. And yes, Quentin Tarantino has spun his weird universe.
Yeah, Mr. White and Michael Madsen and Kill Bill. Yeah.
So I'll give Tarantino. But
look, what I'll say about Waltz is, and that movie, every year I show the first 20 minutes of Inglourious Bastards to my students where, it shows the Jewish people underneath the wooden floors.
Amos was 9 or 10.
And Shoshana?
And Shoshana was 18 or 19. I'm not really sure.
Well, I guess that should do it. However, before I go, could I have another glass of your delicious milk?
Well, of course.
And that performance where you see Christopher Waltz and you see the mind games that he's playing, even going with the larger pipe that he had, and then changing his tone. You saw his face go from a lovely, beautiful smile to now this frown of deception because he knows. Well, I tell the kids, he always knew that they were there, but the extent to where the French guy was lying, and you saw his face turn upside down. Oh, you're hiding enemies of the state, right?
I'd add also that any information that makes the performance of my duty easier
will not be met with punishment. Actually, quite the contrary. It will be met with reward. And that reward will be your family will cease to be harassed in any way by the German military during the rest of our occupation of your country. You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
Yes.
You're sheltering them underneath your floorboards, aren't you?
Yes.
And he was that you're right. It just, that performance blew everybody away, blew me away. You're right. I did try to play it off like it was mine. Coincidentally, talking about canceled teachers, you and I did show it to my students, the entire movie. And the principal saw that I was showing a movie, and then she yelled at me and gave me the wagging finger. You're not supposed to show movies unless you tell me, that you're going to show movies. So the whole thing. And I was like, okay. And I had to turn it off. But I agree with you. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Good call. All right. So my number 2, Thomas Jefferson. I'm going to go Daniel Day-Lewis, There Will Be Blood.
That was...
Bro. Well, you know what? Did I steal one?
Nope.
Okay, good. So Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood, I mean, he is, every time, it feels like he could do any performance and he's going to get nominated for Best Actor.
Yes.
It's getting to the point where it was becoming fatigue on his winning. And from time to time, he will take long breaks, and I think that's actually good for his legacy, and now he's making a comeback after, 10 plus years, and
yes,
he's probably going to win Best Actor again.
Marvel
but going back to this
Marvel
film,
wants him to play Magneto.
Ooh, that'd be great. But I don't think he would do it.
No, I don't think so either.
Daniel Day-Lewis in this movie, even from the very beginning, when he's in the oil shaft, I think it was like 10 minutes of him straight just trying to get out of it and then trying to make something out of it. It was kind of Castaway-esque in that performance right there. You go all the way to him running through the oil derrick that explodes, and it has that haunting, chiming sound while he's running, sprinting, trying to find his son, and then he picks him up and he's running. Just one continuous shot.
Lights out! Wait here. Lights out!
I think it was filmed in Marfa, Texas, if I'm not mistaken. The way he was able to bring that in and show to the audience the emotion, the appeal, it really felt like he was experiencing that in real time. Like his son was about to lose his hearing, or his son was about to lose his life, covered up in oil, and he didn't even lose stride. To me, his performance in all that in that movie was just next level. Not to mention where he gets baptized. That scene with Paul Dano, and he's like shouting out, "I abandoned my son! I abandoned my son!" I mean,
Say it. Abandon my child. Say it louder. Say it louder. I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy! Beg for the blood!
you felt the intensity, you felt the raw emotion. I know he is a method actor, so I can imagine him on set being a complete nightmare for any movie. And when I watched that movie, I seen that movie over and over and over. Even him in the bowling alley scene where he's like walking gangly like he's a freaking spider or something, expressing his corruption, how the corruption has overtaken who he is as a man. I mean, it was a breathtaking performance. One of my all-time favorites. Go ahead, talk to me.
Oh, I'm reevaluating my existence after hearing you talk about Daniel Day-Lewis in such a great way.
I have my moments for sure.
Daniel Day-Lewis is also in that conversation of greatest actors in my lifetime. I would say he would edge Tom Hanks if he kept going. He kind of left on top of his game. I think he did Lincoln, and then decided I'm going to take a step back.
But he did that in the 90s also after the Left Foot movie. He took like 5 years off.
He is a fantastic actor, and he will make a comeback. He'll come back. I don't think he'll ever be what he was, because now he's older and he's going to be in roles that will kind of constrain that. When he was a little bit younger, he could melt into just about any role he wanted.
Do you think these breaks that he's taking is a form of a contentiousness, or is he being authentic? Because like him taking a break to become a cobbler, like those are the rumors. Is that a form of contentiousness, or he's just like really like, I'm done with movies for a while?
I think he's...
Or is it both?
I think he's genuinely taking a break. He only came back this time to be in a movie that his son was directing, so he's supporting his kid. He didn't come back because he wants to come back to acting. Now that he's come back to acting and he's doing a movie, other people might get him to stay and do a couple more. But I think he genuinely took a break to take a break. I think he did what he did, got what he got, realized he's the best of the best, and he said, what else is there for me?
All right. So what is your number 2?
My number 2, and like I said, you reevaluated my existence. My number 2
again?
Yes, with Daniel Day-Lewis, and I'll explain that later. My number 2 is comes from a film that you brought up last episode. One of my favorite films of all time. A film that basically has molded my mentality in life, and that is Good Will Hunting.
Oh, okay.
My number 2 is Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting.
All right, talk to me.
Robin Williams, I think it's almost like watching Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems, where you don't...
By the way, another movie that was pushed aside and put on Netflix that probably would have been in the theaters 20 years before, Marvel movies, but go ahead.
This was Robin Williams leaving his little bubble of comfort and doing something more serious. But he was still genuine. He was still Robin Williams. And the way that Robin Williams carries himself in that movie has it affected me in such a way that is my mentality in life. Like, I strive to be the Robin Williams character, the genuine, heartfelt, level-minded, caring person that is who he is. And that movie will forever be on my list of top 5. And it might not be the top 5 movie of all time. I mean, you brought it up, so obviously, as somebody who loves film, at least it's getting some love. But I've always loved Good Will Hunting, and Robin Williams is one of my favorite actors of all time. Aladdin is my favorite Disney movie, and Good Will Hunting was just a shock to my system in all the right ways. And it was because, I mean, all the acting in that is phenomenal. But Robin Williams just connects with you in such a real way. The way that he is the yin to Stellan Skarsgård's yang, who he's the hard ass, got to do what it takes to be successful. And Robin Williams is like, what is success? Like, what is success? And then the whole scene at the ends, I had to see about a girl.
Did you rush the field? No, I didn't rush the fucking field. I wasn't there. What? No, I was in a bar having a drink with my future wife. You should have seen her. She was a stunner. I don't care if no, she lit up the room.
I don't care if Helena Troy walks into the room. That's game 6.
Oh, my God. And who are these fucking friends of yours? They let you get away with that? They had to. Hey, what did you say to them? Just slid my ticket across the table. I said, sorry, guys. I gotta see about a girl.
If the professor calls about that job, just tell him, sorry. I had to go see about a girl.
Is
right,
fantastic. It's fantastic.
All right, I you know what's so funny? I love that movie, and here's a little fun fact: I didn't watch that movie until Robin Williams passed away, and it was one of those when I watched it, I hated myself. I was like, man, I think I would have been a different person today if I watched that in the 90s when it first came out. I think it would have been one of those movies like Sideways, where the next day I jolt out of bed and change the complete complexity of who I am as a person. That's how much I loved his performance and that movie, by the way.
And I think it might have, because if you look at the characters, they spoke to me because I came from a low-income family in a major city with no money, and kind of like the main characters in that movie. But I saw myself as an intelligent person, and my intelligence would have been my way to get out, which it was. I mean, I went to school and got my master's and all that. And I feel like you followed the same trajectory. And I mean, maybe you would never have ended up in Oak Cliff teaching to
and this podcast never would have happened.
Yes, it would have changed your life.
Or maybe I'd be dead.
Oh, yes.
That's from a movie called Election. But anyways. All right. Well, I love your number 2. That's a great movie. I agree with you. Maybe it could have changed who Garcia was. But all right. My number 1 is Anton Sugar from No Country for Old Men. Javier Bardem.
Yes, with the cattle prod.
Yes, that cow pistol. I mean, look.
Oh yeah, the cow pistol.
Right now, by the way, I'm doing a what do you call it? My audiobook right now is No Country for Old Men, and coincidentally, it keeps up that pace. It talks about how Sugar from No Country for Old Men, played by Javier Bardem, is this kind of like mythic figure who really doesn't have any kind of boundaries or any kind of allegiance to any kind of God. Maybe he is, in a weird way, the devil or the opposition of good. And Javier Bardem plays that so perfectly. From the opening scene of him strangling, by the way, that's the opening scene from the book too, by the way, him strangling the cop on the floor with his chain, and you see the scrapings of the boot and on the tile floor and the blood splattering everywhere, and you just see this grin on Javier's face, and he is like, it meant nothing to him.
Now it's hard to even take its measure. It's not that I'm afraid of it. I always knew you had to be willing to die to even do this job. But I don't want to push my chips forward and go out and meet something I don't understand. A man would have to put his soul at hazard. You'd have to say, okay. I'll be part of this world.
Yes, sir. I just walked in the door. Sheriff, he had some sort of thing on him, like a oxygen tank for emphysema or something, and a hose that run down his sleeve. You got me. Well, you can look at it when you get in. Yes, sir. I got it under control.
He literally took an innocent man's soul and just killed the guy and let loose. When it got away and everything. The way he presented himself, you felt that presence. The scene where he's walking up the stairs when Woody Harrelson turns to go up to his hotel room, and all of a sudden you see Sugar walk up behind him.
Hello, Carson. Let's go to your room.
Totally not catching you by surprise. You felt the presence, you felt the evil, and Javier Bardem just personified that to the T. I mean, come on, bro. You remember the scene where Llewellyn Moss is there in his hotel room in the dark, and he sees his boots, the shadow of the boots underneath, and he's like trying to stay as quiet as possible, and then he used that cattle prod to shoot through the lock, and it hits him in the chest, and he takes off running through the window. You felt that intensity. He brought that.
I remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember watching that movie for the first time and sitting there thinking, this is a better Terminator movie than Terminator.
It's everything. It's Terminator in a cowboy hat or in a stupid bull hat, bull haircut, and an Edgar haircut, by the way. Dude, and there's the iconic scene, the whole coin toss with the gas station clerk or Llewellyn Moss's wife at the very end. Like that's what he personified. The fear. You felt the intensity. You felt like you were the gas station clerk, and you knew if you were that man, you knew that this was a unique situation. And Javier Bardem, what he brought into that role, he would win Best Supporting Actor. I think today is the greatest villain character in human history, more than Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, Hans Landa.
Hans Landa, more than him. Sugar would destroy Hans Landa. Better than Darth Vader. Better than Thanos.
Oh, okay, now you're getting too carried away.
By the way, you know, the antagonist for No Country for Old Men is Thanos.
Yes, it's Thanos, yeah.
So that shows you right there, even though he got killed by a cartel. But anyways, that is my number one. You have anything to say?
No, I don't. I love that. It was on all the lists that I read about greatest acting performances. It was there. Like I said, I remember watching it, and you're right about the tension. You're right about the weight of the movie, and he is a badass villain. I think he plays the best Bond villain too. I think Javier Bardem just plays. He's in the newer Daniel Craig Bond movies, and he plays a fantastic Bond villain in those movies too.
What about as a collector? Speaking of comic book movies, what about the collector?
The Collector?
Isn't he the collector in the, what do you call it?
Yes, you're right. He is the guy that is collecting the Infinity Stones. I just was at Disneyland, and I was on the Guardians ride, and it's his ride. He is the narrator of the ride. You're in the collector's collection.
That performance, I mean, he was always more. I mean, he was a European actor, but he did a couple of independent movies that crossed over to America, which, by the way, would never be made today, like I'm telling you. But
all these movies were made during Marvel's era.
After his performance as Sugar in No Country for Old Men, his career just catapulted. Vicky Cristina Barcelona, the Bond movies, The Collector. I could go on and on. But yeah, that's my number one. Go ahead.
He was supposed to play the Wolfman in the Wolfman revival for the Monster cinematic universe that never panned out. Remember Tom Cruise did that Mummy movie that was shitty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard they're going to do the Aztec version with a white Aztec guy, which is weird.
I would love that, an Aztec mummy. All right. My number one is actually the greatest villain role of all time. This man was only on camera for 16 minutes, yet we will forever recognize his character. Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs.
Good morning.
Dr. Lecter, my name is Clarice Starling. May I speak with you?
You're one of Jack Crawford's, aren't you?
Now, I mean, we all know Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter is considered, he's up there in terms of horror movie icons. And I never really saw this movie as a horror movie. It always kind of, for some reason, didn't sit well with me whenever he'd get thrown into the same conversations. But I mean, I guess he was a serial killer. He ate people. So, I mean, he's a monster. But the way Anthony Hopkins portrays him is fantastic. It's everything that Christopher Waltz portrayed in *Inglourious Basterds*. This duality of intelligence and that creepiness that hides just beneath the surface. Like, that terror because you're told what he did. Like, the violence in his background. They don't show it in the movie. It's there. But his personality, his charm, everything about him is the complete opposite of what he is. And then they made a whole show called Hannibal based on that same character.
Oh, right.
And you get to know a little bit more about the character of Hannibal Lecter. So it just adds to the mystique that Anthony Hopkins played, because everything about that character is fantastic, creepy, and terrifying, all in a perfect little bow. Little known fact: his famous line, was it "Hello, Clarice"? Was actually never said. It was never actually said. It's like the Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Luke, I am your father. That was actually not the line either.
What is the line?
It is, He says good morning. He never actually says hello to her at all later in the movie. He doesn't even call her Clarice until the end of the movie.
Well, I think that's a fantastic number one. Anybody who knows me knows I love my murder movies. I love my whodunits. I love my murder documentary, murder doc and chill. I'm that kind of guy. When I saw Silence of the Lambs the first time, I remember watching it with my sister, and it's Buffalo Bill scared the hell out of my sister, which the whole Clarice and put the lotion in the basket, right?
Put the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again.
Yeah. So that movie.
If you let me go, I won't press charges, I promise. See, my mom is a real important woman. I guess you already know that.
Now he places the lotion in the basket.
Please. Please. I want to go home, please. Please.
He places the lotion in the basket.
I want to see my mommy. Please, I want to see my...
Put the fucking lotion in the basket!
You know, the cop, you know, going to a known serial killer to find another serial killer, you know, that is a common trope when it comes to these detective kind of movies or these murder movies or serial killer type of movies. And he was able to bring that intensity to his performance. You felt that evil,
yes,
that is disconnected from, you know, a regular, I don't want to say regular, but what is a regular person, but a person that doesn't have those thoughts. It made you think like, how can somebody think like that? Like, this has to be fiction. And fun fact, I actually love the movie and the book, because I read the book, The Red Dragon.
Yes.
With Edward Norton. And I remember watching that movie like 30 times, and he brings it in that one as well. Now, it's not critically acclaimed, but I think that's an excellent number one, my man.
Thank you. Now, what is your honorable mention? I have two, and I'm going to keep mine super short.
I'm going to go Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles.
Yes.
I mean, he did the performances. He played the piano. He hung out with Ray Charles before he passed away. I mean, he sang the songs beautifully. He personified Ray Charles. I think out of all the biopics that have been out there with Johnny Cash and Joaquin Phoenix, and now the Bob Dylan one, and then the Bruce Springsteen that's about to come out, I think this is by far, I think that performance is number one, and everybody is a distant second. Go ahead.
I liked Rocket Man. The Elton John one.
No, I didn't like it.
I'll say the Jamie Foxx one was the best. Jamie Foxx might be arguably the best musician turned actor.
Right, he was a comedian too.
I would say that he probably is a better actor than Will Smith. And I'm going to walk that one back. I like Will Smith.
He is definitely a better actor than Will Smith, my man. Although Will Smith in Ali was pretty great.
Yes. And I love Pursuit of Happiness.
That was great too. Jamie Foxx is probably the most talented person in Hollywood. Maybe
actor, comedian, musician.
Yeah, I remember he was a high school superstar quarterback too.
Hey, Any Given Sunday.
Texas to do that. Any Given Sunday, that was real form. Him throwing the ball for real. I mean, he is talented, man.
All right.
So what is yours?
I have two. One is the one I brought up earlier, the one that's not film, that I wanted to toss out there just because I personally love it more than anything else. Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad.
That's a TV show.
I know. That's why I said I can't include it in my Mount Rushmore. I was going to throw it in my honorable mention. His character arc is fantastic. He went from the goofy dad and Malcolm in the Middle to being a believable drug kingpin over the course of one series. Now, probably the greatest show of all time. I know you're going to say Sopranos, but
Dude, Tony
Breaking Bad.
Soprano, James Gandolfini, that is the greatest acting performance. Do you realize that he won every award the first season? And to me, it felt like, this is why I don't watch award shows anymore. He should have been nominated every year. And he did, pretty much, and never won again. It was an embarrassment. His performance at the end of season 3, when he almost beats the crap out of Carmela and punches the wall around him, when he finds out that she was cheating, well, flirting with one of his bodyguards. Oh, dude.
Those nights when you were actually in the bed and he would ring the doorbell, I felt like my heart would come out of my chest. He would smile and we'd talk, and then you would come down the stairs. And I felt probably like someone who was terminally ill, and somehow they managed to forget it for a minute. And then it all comes back.
He talked to you all. Poor you.
He made me feel like I mattered.
You know, you asked me the other day what Irene's cousin has that you don't have. And I thought about it because it's a pretty good fucking question. And yeah, she's sexy enough, even with the one pin gone, but that's not it. I could converse with her because she had something to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I struck a nerve. All right.
This is Castaway all over again, by the way.
All right. So my second honorable mention was actually on my list of top 4 until you threw out Daniel Day-Lewis. And,
okay, what is it?
There Will Be Blood. It was Daniel Day-Lewis and Gangs of New York.
Oh,
one of my
Gangs
favorite.
of New York. I thought about that too.
I love that movie. And then once you threw it out there, I'm sitting there like, shit, man. Everybody universally thinks that There Will Be Blood is Daniel Day-Lewis's best acting role. So I can't legitimately throw out Gangs of New York as my number 1 or 2, because then I would be saying Gangs of New York is a better movie than There Will Be Blood. I love Gangs of New York.
Would Daniel Day-Lewis's performance be up there with There Will Be Blood if one of the main characters wasn't Cameron Coco Diaz?
And I am on the other end of that spectrum. She did not take away from the movie.
You don't think so? Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
I think one of my favorite parts of that movie, watching it now, is looking at all the actors, the well-known actors that play these bit parts, like John C. Reilly, who plays the fucking cop.
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird.
What about Leonardo DiCaprio? You think he took away some of that shine from Day-Lewis?
I think that's why when you think about Gangs of New York, you think Leo first. When you think about There Will Be Blood, it's Daniel Day-Lewis first.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you think of Leonardo DiCaprio in Gangs of New York, but I think that Daniel Day-Lewis is the better character in that movie. He carries that movie. That movie, it's like that scene from Remember the Titans, which I know you don't like as much. That scene from
most overrated movie of all time.
He carried that movie so bad that that's probably why he had to take a break from acting. His back hurt so much. He needed to fuse 3 vertebrae together from the injuries he sustained carrying that film.
I'll throw another one because we could do this all day. Dude, Meryl Streep, her made for TV movies. I forgot the one where it was the dingo that ate your baby. That one. Where the baby gets taken by the
I didn't even know that was a real. I didn't know that was a real quote from a real movie.
Dude. Yeah, dude. And it's so crazy because the scene where the dingo takes away the baby, there was no way that it was the mom's fault. I forgot the name of the movie. People put it in the comments there. There was no way anybody was going to catch that dog. The way the dog takes off with the baby, that thing was like supersonic speed. That baby was done. Yeah, and I don't blame the mom on that. You know what I mean? But that's a conversation for another day.
There's dingo in the tent.
Did you go to university, Greg?
Dingo's got the baby!
You can drink it.
God, no, please, God, help me. The dingo's got my baby!
What?
Her performance in Sophie's Choice, where she has to choose between her children before going on the train to one of the the Nazi concentration camps. That was intense as well.
Meryl Streep, she is considered one of the best. So
my dad hates her, by the way.
No,
for no reason at all, by the way.
It's probably because she's super white.
Yeah. But anyways, all right, guys. So go ahead, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment. Like I said, new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Do you have any final words before we sign off?
No, I think we redeemed ourselves. I think that was we are in a weird mode here where our Mount Rushmores, our Rushmore episodes are longer than our regular episodes.
I know. It shouldn't be that long.
No. Hey, I'm okay with it. We're releasing them as full episodes. If those of you at home like us keeping them full episodes, let us know. Because the old format, we used to keep these about half as long as the main episodes. So if the main episode was an hour, 40 minutes, then this would be half that. We're in this. We get going. We get passionate about these things, and we talk way too much. So, but if you like it, let us know. We'll keep it going the way it is. Full episodes, full Rushmores.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching.
I'm gonna show you how great We're not worthy!
I said, empty your mind.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.